not confused about jihadism. I can say this, I'm a jihadi. I can say death to apostates. I can support for the project of jihad. So that's not what I'm talking about, the people who are actually deciding to be jihadis. I think they've behaved unethically. We're in a hot war with jihadis. I'm not even sure I know the rules of war. That anyone who joins a jihadist organization who's in the business of waging jihad, right? That should be a death sentence. That should be suicide.
Allahu Akbar.
Jihadism, I find genuinely confusing. There are jihadists in 100 countries, but we have to recognize that we're at war with jihadism. We should be killing jihadis in 100 countries, right? That we're not going to negotiate with jihadis. We're not going to live peacefully with jihadis. I'm a jihadi. I'm not confused about jihadism. When you have 100 jihadis come across it, 1,500 jihadis. I'm talking about jihadis. I'm talking about the people who are committed to waging jihad, who's like, that's their gig now, right? We have been lying to ourselves, in the secular West, there's some other logic, some other variable that explains this. Jihadis' behavior is like multicultural bullshit. Just because we think those people should fuck it. Jihadis. I'm a jihadi. I'm a jihadi. People with understandable, rational grievances who've just been pushed too far, etc., etc. I'm not saying life in Gaza isn't horrible. I'm not saying it's not intolerable, etc., etc. Yes, it has this struggle over territory context. We can talk about that, etc., etc. Children orphaned and children blown up, etc., etc. Completely innocent families in Gaza to have 500-pound bombs dropped on their heads. Defensively, we can talk about that. They care much more about buildings than about their children, right? I mean, if you really want to see the wheels come off, Israel could say, listen, return the hostages in 48 hours or we blow up the Dome of the Rock, right? And they just rig that building to explode. What do you think happens? Multicultural bullshit. Fuck it. Yeah, but that's not the thing that explains the hot jihadi behavior. Concept of jihad, the concept of martyrdom, the very clear when you're a jihadist, right? If you die, it's good. If your family dies, it's good. If the infidel dies, it's good. Which is explained only by the religious ideology. This is a death cult of the Prophet Muhammad, who's not a guy who got crucified. I mean, it's like having Genghis Khan as your jihadi savior. I mean, fuck it. We need to bring in Delta Force and the CIA, and we wage war. So you bring in infidel troops, even taking innocent life, and with the best of intentions to do any. The idea that we can go to war in Iraq, and with the best of intentions to do and accomplish that in the Middle East, right? We're going to go to war in Afghanistan, and with the best of intentions to do and accomplish that in a Muslim culture. It's an amazing reboot of civilization. Young women being raped and stolen as hostages from a peace rave. You have their counterparts at Harvard and Stanford celebrating it. We've got the most privileged and ostensibly well-educated people in our society, students right now, today, at Harvard and Stanford, who are signing open letters in support of the murder of infants in their crib. The imagery of a dead baby being pulled out of rubble is so provocative, it's impossible to think about what should happen in the world on the basis of that data point, right? That doesn't guide you, that just confounds you, right? Even just anyone who gets out on the sidewalk and stands on one of these signs supporting what happened in Israel, those people should lose their citizenship. How you go about killing jihadists wherever they exist we should get as good as we can get at that. We should get as good as we can get at that. And
So,
eradicate jihadists. We are perpetually at war with aspiring martyrs, right? We're at war with jihadis. You just have to imagine what happens when you grab all that land.
Right.
Yeah.
Then Israel just has different borders, but they're still at war with jihadists.
that's not what he said.
No.
I said
not what he
killing
said.
jihadists. Euphemisms aside, that terrorism is not our problem. Jihadism is our problem. Fuck it. I'm a jihadi.
महबूब दे देखने कारण